again, as a reminder, inshallah, when I ask a question, raise your hand. Don't stand up, don't make noise. And after I finish, tomorrow's session, inshallah, will be for questions and answers, because I can't answer 50 questions at the same time. And people are talking like 20 guys are talking at the same time, right? So we'll answer all the questions tomorrow, inshallah. After I finish, no questions. We'll go to the classroom, okay? I love you too, but we'll answer the questions tomorrow, inshallah. I got a question from one of the sisters here regarding Al-Masjid Al-Haram. Do you know where Masjid Al-Haram is? Yes? In Mecca, mashallah. Good job. Masjid Al-Haram is in Mecca. And the question is, why do they call it haram? Because haram is a bad word in Arabic. Why?
Because it's haram to do things that are bad things.
Excellent, mashallah. But I'll tell you a story first. Yeah, there was a guy in a Muslim country, and this is a true story. Because when you hear the word haram, it has a bad connotation, like it is something bad. So this guy in a Muslim country, I'm not going to mention the name of the country, but he was a drug dealer. He was a drug dealer. So he made hundreds of thousands of Guinea pounds, right? Eventually, when he became very old, he decided to make tawbah. Like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to make tawbah to Allah. I'm going to go do Hajj and Umrah and so on and so forth. When he came back, he decided to use all the money to build a big masjid. And all the people in the area knew that he was a thief and he was a drug dealer. He used all the money to build a masjid. Do you know what the people called the masjid? They called it Al-Masjid Al-Haram. Because the money came from haram sources, right? So this is why they called it Masjid Al-Haram. It's bad. But Islamically, it's acceptable to go and pray in that masjid. Whether the money is from halal or from haram, Allah will judge the person. Haram in Arabic means that this place is sacred. In Egypt and some places in the Arab world, we call women, we call them harim, right? Harim is like a person that you are not allowed to harm, right? It's inviolable. This is the word we use. A person you cannot violate and you cannot harm. The same is true for Al-Masjid Al-Haram. Everyone respected Al-Masjid Al-Haram. Even at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, the mushrikun, the people of Mecca, who didn't even worship Allah, they were worshipping idols, they had respect for this place. They have stories that before Islam they had so many fights and people were killed and stuff. So much so that even the people of Mecca, during Tawaf, if they meet someone who killed their own father or their own brother in Tawaf, they wouldn't touch them. Because now you are in this place that is sacred, I cannot harm you. But when you go outside, we'll do something else. But inside, it's a sacred place. You're not allowed to harm the doves, the pigeons inside. You're not allowed to harm any other people, and so on and so forth. So this is what we call it, Al-Masjid Al-Haram. Haram here means sacred. We're holy. You're not allowed to harm anyone or anything inside. What I'm going to talk to you about today is friendship. I'm going to check a couple, pick a couple of you, and I'll take the sister. But don't come here. Who is your favorite friend here? MashaAllah. Why? Why is she your best friend? She helps you. And why do you like her? She gives you money? No? Why? She's nice to you. MashaAllah. The brothers will take this guy. Finally, I picked you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey.
MashaAllah.
Hey, I have two best friends, these two.
MashaAllah. Why?
Because they're my soccer buddies.
MashaAllah, this is good. Thank you. So, thank you. So, today I'll talk about choosing a friend. Because your friends will impact you. There is what they call in English peer influence. If your friends are good, you'll be good like them. If your friends are bad, you will copy their example. There are stories from the Prophet ﷺ that many people accepted Islam because of their good friends. Like their friends were good, like Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. You know the Ashra Sahaba who got the news of Jannah? Abu Bakr, Uthman, Ali, so on and so forth. The 10 Sahaba of Jannah, many of them accepted Islam because they were good friends to Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. They knew he was a good man even before Islam. So as soon as he told them about Islam, this is what we do. 1, 2, 3, salah, namaz, we give zakah, we do this, we stay away from haram. They said, okay, say no more. They accepted Islam because they believed in him and they accepted him as a good friend. On the other hand, there are some people at the time of the Prophet ﷺ who didn't accept Islam because of their friends. Although they believed Islam was the truth, although they liked the Prophet ﷺ, although they believed the Quran was from Allah, but they didn't accept Islam to please their friends. One of them, Nadr ibn al-Harith, he accepted Islam because the Prophet ﷺ visited him in his house and he made da'wah to him. So he accepted Islam. Then, after the Prophet ﷺ left, he passed by his friend, this man, and his friend said, okay, you accepted Islam, you betrayed me, I'm not your friend anymore. He said, okay, what do you want me to do? He said, go to Muhammad and tell him you are not a Muslim, you are not a believer. And this is what he did. And he even said things and he abused the Prophet ﷺ to please his friends. There's also another guy, you know Surah Najm? Close to the end, it says, أَفَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي تَوَلَّى وَأَعْطَى قَلِيلًا وَأَكْدَى أَعِنْدَهُ عِلْمُ الْغَيْبِ فَهُوَ يَرَى. So what happens? There was a man, he liked the Quran, he believed in Islam. Then when his friend found out, he was so mad, and he told him, okay, you betrayed us, you accepted Islam, you're not my friend anymore. So this man said, okay, so what do you want me to do? He said, go tell Muhammad ﷺ that you don't believe in Islam anymore. So the man said, but I'm afraid of Jahannam, I'm afraid of the fire. Because, you know, if I leave it and I will be punished in Akhirah or something, you know, I'm afraid. I want to go to Jannah, I don't want to go to Jahannam. So his friend said, I'll make a deal with you. You leave Muhammad ﷺ, and on the day of judgment, if there is actually Jahannam and punishment, I will go to Jahannam in your place, but you have to pay me money here. So they made a deal that he was going to pay him 10,000 and he will take his place in Jahannam, right? His friend paid him a couple of months. Then he said, okay, I paid you already 2,000. This is enough for Jahannam. Khalas, I'm not going to pay again. أَفَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي تَوَلَّى وَأَعْطَى قَلِيلًا وَأَكْدَى يعني امتنع عِنْدَهُ عِلْمُ الْغَيْبِ فَهُوَ يَرَى. Does he look at Akhirah to see that someone can take the punishment of another? وبعدين ألا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى. It is written that no one will be punished in the place of the another, because everyone will be accountable only for themselves. So as you can see here, some people became Muslim because of their friends, and some people didn't become at the time of the Prophet ﷺ because they were influenced by their friends. In 1 minute, inshallah, I'm going to remind you of something that Imam Ibn al-Qayyim said about friends, or the people you deal with every day, and he classified them into 4 types. The first type, he said, كَالْغِذَاء. They are like the air you breathe, the food you eat, and the water you drink. They are very essential to your life. You cannot survive with them. Like they're always helping you, they're nice to you, they show you the right way. So these are the good people that you should hang out with. The second type, they are like ad-dawa, like medicine. Do you take medicine every day or only when you need it? Only when you need it. If you have a fever, you Tylenol, so on and so. So only when you need it, you take it. So he is saying basically that these are the types of people, like colleagues, like the people you do business with, the people who sit next to you in the train or the plane, right? the people you go to school with, and so on and so forth. The third type of people, they are like disease. Kadda. If you get close to them, you will be harmed. If you stay away from them, you will be good. For example, the people you play video games with 24/7, like you play with them all the time, they're not asking you to do something haram, but they are basically wasting your time. Some of our brothers who are older, if they go to Tim Hortons, they stay there for hours and they talk about politics and they talk about this and that and business and all these things. So basically they are talking about things that is not going to benefit them in dunya and akhirah. They talk about the weather, they will talk about politics, they will talk about video games. They are not harming anyone, but they are just wasting their life. Your life is very precious. There should be time for everything. Yes, play video games for half an hour, 1 hour. Pray, play, eat, sit with your family. There's time for everything. The fourth type, they are like poison. They are the people that they will harm you. So try to stay away from. And these are the people who always try to keep you away from the good and invite you to the bad. If you want to go to the masjid to pray, they'll say, no, don't worry about it. If you want to go like to your neighbor and steal their apples or kill their chicken, yeah, let's do it. And they do haram things as well. So if you want to do something good, they will stop you. If you want to do something bad, let's go and do it. So stay away from them completely. So we'll let you go today, inshallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless you and your family. Inshallah, we'll talk more about choosing a friend and how to appreciate your friend. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Inshallah, we'll answer your questions tomorrow. Thanks for coming. جزاكم الله خير.
السلام عليكم.